All right. So congratulations to the entire crew at Bradshaw Live. We are again finalists in the Cynopsis 2020 Digital Award. We have been finalists for several years. We're up against huge, generally, I don't know who we're up against this year, but in the past, we've been up against huge production companies such as Ellen DeGeneres, a television broadcast network called NBC, huge companies. In our little show with our little group of people, we go up against all of them, and we are finalists again. We have been nominated in 3 categories. The categories we were nominated in is Best Host in a Web Series. Yay, Brad. That's me. Best Host in a Web Series. Best Multi-Platform Marketing Campaign, and Best Web Video or Series. The virtual award ceremony happens Tuesday on December 1st. We will be there. Hopefully, we will get an award, and if so, we will let you know. Thank you to the whole Bradshaw Live team, the entire Brad squad. Of course, we can't do it without you guys. If we get an award, the award is for not only Bradshaw Live, not only our crew, but it's also for you, squad, because this show doesn't happen without a squad. It doesn't. It's not the same. If we have no squad, it's just not the same. So this award is just as well, hopefully we win, for you guys as well as for us. Meanwhile, tomorrow, this is like the most bizarre thing ever. Trump's going to be participating in a town hall event on NBC at the same exact time Joe Biden is going to be in a town hall event on ABC. What the hell's going on here? Well, they were supposed to have a debate on ABC, but Trump has coronavirus. And Biden, I can't blame the guy, doesn't want to get coronavirus. So he said, unless we're going to do this virtually, or unless we're going to be in different rooms somehow, I don't want to be in the same room as the Orange Man. I don't want to get coronavirus. And personally, I wouldn't want to be in that room with him either. So they canceled the event, and Biden agreed to do the town hall nevertheless. And Trump says, I'm not going to do it virtually. I'm not coming. So instead, he went to NBC. NBC has said they will do a town hall for Trump at the same exact time. So who are you supposed to watch? Trump, Biden, Biden, Trump? I don't know. Now, the event for NBC is going to be moderated by Savannah Guthrie, who is going to sit 12 feet away from Donald Trump. There's going to be a live attendance. People are going to be required to wear a mask. Trump is down in the national polls. Yay, national polls. And Biden is winning in key swing states. Go key swing states. And Trump is definitely in greater need of a national platform in which he can make his case to voters. The NBC's decision has caused backlash on social media by people who believe the competing town halls are going to disenfranchise viewers who want to watch both events. The hashtag BoycottNBC is trending on Twitter. I think Trump is going to brag that he got more viewers on NBC than ABC. I'm going to watch Biden. Meanwhile, with just 20 days to go until the election, more than 12 million Americans have already voted, smashing records from 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, I have in my hand my absentee ballot. After this show, will be voting in about an hour. I just got it in the mail today. But unfortunately, apparently there are problems. A technical glitch at a voting supersite, hours-long lines, and a last-minute ruling have marked the start of in-person voting in Georgia. Big problems there. More than 1.5 million Georgians have requested ballots so far, shattering records from the past. Footage went viral on social media. Voters lined up in Columbus, a suburb of Atlanta, leading some Democrats to raise allegations of voter suppression. Early voting at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta was delayed for about an hour after technical problems with the electronic poll books. Virginia voter registration websites temporarily crashed for the last day for people to register. Election officials have blamed a cut in the fiber cable. Now, civil rights groups have filed lawsuits against the state to extend the voter registration deadline. Meanwhile, this is a weird thing going on in California. The California Secretary of State and Department of Justice has sent a cease and desist order to the California Republican Party to remove unofficial ballot drop boxes placed in at least 3 counties. Apparently, the Republican National Party is putting unofficial ballot drop boxes in places where Republican voters would go and vote, like gun shops and the local Republican, party office. And these are all unofficial ballot drops that they're collecting unofficial ballots. And, you're saying, well, why are they doing that? Are they trying to fool people? Nobody really understands why they're doing it. My first guess was they want to fool people to say, here, drop your ballot here, when they know that ballot wouldn't be counted. But then that really doesn't make a lot of sense, because we know the Democrats are going to win California. So what is it that they're doing? I heard another theory that they are getting Republicans to go and drop their ballots in a box in Republican strongholds. And then after the election, they're going to show up and say, look, voter fraud. All of these votes, all of these ballots, they were found in the river. They were found in a dumpster. Look, this whole election is fraudulent. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. Now, California only allows county election officials the authority to oversee drop boxes and ensure that they're in compliance with the law. In New York, the commissioner of the New York Police Department told all uniformed members to prepare to be deployed for protests. There is not a cop in New York that's allowed to take a vacation the week leading up to the election and the week after the election. The entire New York Police Department is going to be in uniform and out on the street. You will not see a New York City cop anywhere on vacation during those weeks. Now, in Washington, Amy Coney Barrett faces another round of questioning. She is the judge who is up for confirmation hearings for the United States Supreme Court. Today was day 3 of the confirmation hearings. Senator Lindsey Graham, the Republican of South Carolina and the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, praised Barrett for being unashamedly pro-life, saying her confirmation will be a breakthrough for conservative women. Now, asked by Senator Patrick Leahy of Vermont whether courts had the power to enforce their rulings if a president disobeyed, i.e. Donald Trump doesn't always obey court rulings, the judge would not give a definitive answer. All she said is, no man is above the law. As a matter of law, the Supreme Court may have the final word, but it lacks control about what happens after that. And that's true. The Supreme Court doesn't have a police department to go enforce the law. They just rule the law. This is the law. And then hopefully somebody is going to enforce it. Meanwhile, talking about the United States Supreme Court, they are now allowing the Trump administration to immediately end the counting for the 2020 census. Experts have warned that doing so would result in an inaccurate data with severe consequences for the next decade. The ruling has essentially cut short the counting of every living American resident. The counting was supposed to continue through October 31st, meaning 2 more weeks, because not every American has been counted. And the reason why this is important is for 3 reasons. When we count all Americans, we know how to apportion money that is allocated Congress to different states. So, for example, if Congress passes a bill that says we're going to give $2 trillion to transportation, well, that gets allocated based on the number of people in each particular state. It also plays a role in the Electoral College. I'm sure everybody has heard about the Electoral College by now. It's been around for 250 years. And the Electoral College is determined by how many people live in each state. So now when people are not counted, the Electoral College may not be accurate compared to proportionally the number of people who live in each particular state. It also counts the number of representatives each state can give to Congress. So if you have an undercount in one particular state, that state may not be represented proportionally in Congress. Now, why is this important? Why are they cutting it short? Because Trump feels that the people who have been undercounted are more likely to be Democrats, more likely to be immigrants, more likely to be people living in the inner city who may or may not know what the census is, may not want to be counted. And as a result, it's all to skew in favor of Republicans. Now, the Supreme Court did not offer any explanation for its order, which came after the Trump administration asked the justices to pause a lower court ruling extending the count while the case was appealed. There's a speculation also that the White House wants to ensure that Trump can oversee the allocation of U.S. House seats, even if he loses re-election and push to exclude undocumented immigrants from the total. Coronavirus is still around. It didn't leave magically. It just didn't disappear. Remember, Trump said, oh, it'll disappear by magic. By September, it'll all be over. Well, we're already in October, and there's 38 million coronavirus cases worldwide. More than 1 million people have died. More than 7.8 million people have been diagnosed in America. Today, 216,000 deaths. So for anybody to say coronavirus doesn't exist, but Trump says go on with your life. Can you imagine, by the way, if people died because an immigrant killed them? Can you imagine it if one person died? If a terrorist killed 20 people, people would be up in arms. Now, data from the Johns Hopkins University reveals that the United States still holds the #1 spot for the most coronavirus deaths worldwide. The Washington Post is reporting that cases in more than 20 states have hit new records, mostly in the Midwest. In Europe, the World Health Organization recorded more than 700,000 new cases. They are up 34%. Coronavirus is up 34% in Europe in the past week alone. In immigration news, this is very sad. In immigration news, Mexico has identified 2 women who may have been subjected to non-consensual surgeries while detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. USCIS, the Department of Homeland Security, is giving non-consensual surgeries to detained immigrants, mostly women. You get arrested by ICE and they give you a surgery that you did not agree to, usually on a female. The finding is part of a larger Mexican investigation into allegations of improper medical care for detained migrant women at ICE's privately run Irwin County Detention Center in Georgia. In a statement released during the weekend, Mexico's foreign ministry said 1 Mexican national received a surgical intervention she didn't authorize. The ministry specified that the operation was not a hysterectomy, but she did not also receive any post-operative care. The woman also did not receive treatment for a hernia, the statement adds. A second woman in Mexico allegedly underwent a gynecological surgery without her full consent. The statement says she did not receive an explanation in Spanish of the medical diagnosis or the nature of the procedure. The government says it is verifying all of this. At least 20 women have been interviewed by Mexican officials as part of this ongoing investigation. Anybody know what OkCupid is? It's a dating app. It's kind of like, I guess, Tinder. You swipe left, you swipe right, you match, you date. Well, this dating app, OkCupid, is now celebrating all those who are flexing their democratic rights this election year. The campaign is in full gear. The election is only 20 days away, and they now have a new campaign underscoring the sexy side of voting. VILF, yes, it stands for exactly what you think it stands for, launches as more than 115,000 people on OkCupid enable the app's badge, which shows potential quarters they're registered to vote. They are a VILF, not a MILF, but a VILF. The badge is cemented in data that reveals voters are 85% more likely to have someone message them on the app and 63% more likely to get a match if they voted. The campaign, which was created in partnership with the ad agency Mischief, labels voters VILFs, asking them, cover your ears, asking them to f people, not f America. The campaign VILF has all sorts of branded merchandise, including condoms, lawn signs, button pins. Meanwhile, an influencer makeup tutorial on how to look hotter takes an unexpected turn when viewers are instead instructed how to vote. You're a VILF. Voters, I'd like to, you know what, F. Voters, I'd like to, I already said it once. Meanwhile, there's another new campaign to get people to vote called Get Your Booty to the Poll. Founder Angela Barnes thought it would be a great idea to have exotic dancers from some of Atlanta's finest strip clubs tell their patrons and fans to go get their booties to the poll. Angela teamed up with Paul Fox, a prop master turned producer based out of Atlanta, and they recruited a slew of talented filmmakers and dancers, started a GoFundMe called Angela and Paul Want Black People to Vote. They filmed their message in one day at the end of July, all while fearing the second wave of COVID. The entire crew was made up of volunteers who were dedicated to the message and idea of increasing voter turnout amongst Black male demographic. Chinese researchers have found that men with deep voices are more likely to cheat on their partners. The sound-breaking study was published in the journal Personality and Individual Differences. While females largely find lower acoustics more arousing, like talking like this, talking very low from your diaphragm, seems to be more arousing. Masculine sounding, but I don't talk like that. Masculine sounding men are also more likely to engage in infidelity. People who with these low voices are more likely to cheat. The scientists reached this conclusion by surveying an anonymous group of heterosexual Mandarin-speaking university students comprised of 116 men, 145 women. After recording their voices to gauge their pitch, the team asked participants how likely they were to remain faithful to their partners on a scale of 1 to 10. When my girlfriend found out about this, I answered like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know anything. That a bride ambushes fiancé for surprise wedding at Target. This was kind of funny. An unnamed Nevada woman marched into a Target store where her fiancé allegedly works in Henderson, Nevada, to demand that he marry her right then and there. In a now viral video taken by a shocked shopper's Ashley Dominguez, posted to TikTok last Friday, the impatient bride, dressed in white and with a bridesmaid and a pastor in tow, ambushed her boyfriend as he was stocking the shelves at the Target. She demanded, "You put this ring on my finger 2 years ago. It's time to get it done or get out." She then turned to her entourage and announced, "I brought the pastor. I brought Emily. She's my bridesmaid." Emily wore a blush-colored mini dress, white pumps, and carried white roses. She added, "We're getting married right now or I'm leaving. I'm out of here." And said to the onlookers, "Hi, guys. I'm just finally making him commit, you know?" Now, Dominguez, who had stopped by the store for a birthday present for her son, said, "This was the best part of my week. I watched this woman hunt this man down who works at the Target." The boyfriend then asked to talk outside, and the whole wedding party made their way out. We do not know what happened outside, if the marriage actually took place or not. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.